Alrighty, so I've had time now to kind of calm down from the whole, post-game rant. And, let's just say, is it time to fire Zimmer? And I know this is going to be a highly debated topic for Vikings fans. And probably also the media, honestly, at this point. Because, let's just say that Dan Quinn finally gets fired. Bill O'Brien finally gets fired. Adam Gase still has a job somehow, but see how long that fucking lasts. Again, at what point do you just move on, Because that's the biggest thing for me. Because tonight was not Kirk Cousins' fault. Tonight was not our offense's fault. You can blame the defense too. You can also say that was just Russell Wilson being Russell fucking Wilson. I mean, there's a reason why this dude is an animal. I mean, this guy is amazing. I'm not taking anything away from that. But again, I see both sides of this just because the side saying keep Zimmer because, again, it's not like the team is absolute shite. It's a young secondary that's starting to kind of turn it around a little bit. But it's just, I get it, 2020 has been weird. 2020 is probably going to be a lost season. But is that enough to change things around here? Is it time to move on? And again, Zimmer is one of our winningest coaches we've had. Zimmer has been a top regular season coach for us. The problem is, again, moving into the wanting to fire him, the postseason. Getting absolutely bounced in the postseason multiple times. And when we got so close to making it to the Super Bowl, laying an egg. And then watching said team that destroyed us go into our house and win. Anyway, like I say, again, for me, it's a staleness factor. At what point do you shit or get off the puck? What point do you move on? What is finally that point that the organization says, okay, it's time to start over? And when do you know it? Because, again, there's been multiple times that, bad decision making. And again, tonight, going back to that 4th down and inches play on, the Seattle 6-yard line. For me, I wanted to go for the field goal. Get it up by 8. Force them to come down, and at the very worst, you'll make it to overtime. But also, I saw, potentially going for it, but you're never going to please everybody. I mean, this fan base is nuts. But anyway, like I say, I've made plenty of posts, videos, and rants about that. But again, 1-4. The defenses look like crap. But again, young, secondary, new pieces, all that stuff. I get it. There's growing pains involved in there. The play calling is stuck in the 90s and 2000s. Where, newsflash, it doesn't work anymore. This is a totally different animal. Where it's so much offense oriented and your defense just has to be good enough to keep you in it. But the problem is, a lot of times these offenses are just fucking nuts. Just bomb it down the field, guns a-blazing, scream down the field, 5-play, 30-second, it's basically a track meet type of game anymore, where it's like the fastest team wins, I mean, case in point, just look at the Chiefs. Their receiving core averages like a 4.4 running. I mean, all their receivers on their team run like sub 4.4, 4.3 receivers. The Raiders the Raiders have always loved those type of receivers, and again, rarely has that worked out, but I think now it's starting to. So yeah, it's more of a run and gun, just drive it down the field type of offense, which we have the weapons to do that. It's just, I don't know, because again, this always happens to the Vikings. It's always the same issues. We're never great. We're never horrible. We're stuck in mediocrity. And at what point do you start over? And at what point do you completely gut everything and just rebuild again? But also, can you still salvage a season with a pretty damn good team still? Injuries have hit us too. But to be fair, though, injuries have hit every team. So it's just, for me, it's food for thought, because if this was Zimmer's last game, thank you for everything you've done for us. But at the same time, if this is not, we still got season to be played here. We still got games to be played here. And we still have promise for this team. It's just so frustrating, though, seeing talent wasted, but at the same time, having enough talent to make this a difficult decision. I mean, again, for Gase, it was easy. I mean, for, Dan Quinn, it was easy, because they could never rebound from that 28-3 game. They never, Bill O'Brien literally being a bonehead and trading half of his team, that makes sense. But it's just staleness. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, before I ramble on too much more here, stay tuned, because this has the makings of, I mean, this is by far the loudest I've heard them fire Zimmer chants. And they're starting to come in droves. So, we'll just wait and see what happens. So, until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good night.